All right, welcome to Module 3. You've made it. Now we're going to start this module by importing all of the animatable assets into our game level so we can start getting our game state changes, not only reacting within the scripts, but also visually for our player to see what's going on in the game and to start interacting with objects and triggering this axe to start swinging and the moons to start changing, all that fun stuff. So let's just get right into it. I've already gone ahead and in the assets folder, I've put in our game art folder, our environment. I've imported the sprite props UIGR. Now, what that means is it's just all of the rest of our animatable sprites for our props and our UI elements and game ready. So I've dragged this file in, and you can find it in your resource folder. And of course, it's a sprite 2D, and the sprite mode is multiple. I've compressed it down to 2048, and now in the sprite editor, if you remember, it's the same as our character was. I split it up using not the automatic mode. What I went to is I went to grid, and I set our grid pixel size to 400 by 400 pixels. That's how I've set up all of these objects within here. And as you can see in the sprite sheet, all of these up here, these are UI elements we're going to be setting up in a later module. But this is our player's health. Full, he's got hit once, got hit, he's in the critical state, and then he's gone. And then we have our UI elements to display if we have a key or not, if we have a dagger or not. And this will be our interactive object, our diamond, and our vase, which will eventually be blinking. And here's all the frames to our blanket that falls off to reveal the diamond, and so forth. We have a lot of things going on here. Our trip plate and our moons, our UI background, and our power up. What I've gone ahead and I've just named these in a specific way. So UI health underscore 4 full, and then 3, 2, 1. And then for our key, UI key has not, UI dagger has not. So go ahead and import this sprite sheet, split it up, and give them all the correct titles so you know what you're importing into your level, and then we'll continue and start setting this up. So I've already gone ahead and done this. Hit apply when you're done, and I'm just going to close this sprite editor. And now when I expand this, I now see all of those objects with all their names here. So let's start by setting up our level here. So what's our first animatable object that we're going to start with? I want to start with our trip plate, as that's the most crucial, I'd say. That's what WrapTuck first walks into to start the whole danger mode state of this game. So I'm going to drag this in here, and right now we can't see it, but remember how we've been organizing, right? So first off, I always just like to reset its position. We can see it kind of creeping up in the back there. Sorting layer, I'm going to set this to props, and I'm going to, just so it brings it to the front, and I'm going to drag this in. I'm going to zoom in here. And where do I want this? I want to put this right about there. So when WrapTuck gets in there, I just want to make sure the shadow is in the right area around it. Perfect. Okay, so there we have it, our trip plate. Perfect, so that's the main one there, trip plate F1. I'm just going to retitle this, trip plate start. And there we go, because that's the one that's going to start all the transitions here in this game. And now what can we do here? I'm just going to I'm going to duplicate this object, and I'm going to drag it all the way down here. And this is going to be trip plate stop. Cool. Now we have our trip plate set up, simple as that. What's next? Let's go to our vase. Let's drag in our vase normal. I also am going to set this to props for now. We might have to do some reorganizing. Okay, so let's drag this up in here. Perfect. So our vase is now set up. What else do we need? We need our moon, of course. So I'm going to drag this moon in here. And let's put this guy on our midground layer, so it mixes in with the fog there. That'd be pretty cool. And I'm going to go to my game view and see how I want this moon to be positioned. So I'm going to go to my moon safe. Okay, let's crank. I want it to be a bit higher up in my level here. So let's position this to as our camera's going to be seeing it. And let's go 4.20 and 4.8. Make it a nice even number. Alrighty, so that's looking great. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy that with this moon danger, and I can't drag it in the game view. So let's quickly drag this guy up and let's pop it on the same order here. Let's go mid ground, and I'm going to start by just resetting, and I forget what this guy was at. So let's go and copy those positions. Moon safe. 4.2, 4.8 if I'm correct. 4.2, that looks right, and 4.8. Beautiful. And there's the moons. Perfect. All ready to go. Now, we have that in the same position. Now, I'm just thinking ahead here, and what's going to happen is, right now we're setting up all these objects for animation, right? So I'm thinking ahead, and this moon danger is not going to be showing until our character WrapTuck walks over this trip plate. So when he does that, this moon's going to fly up into view and replace this moon's position. So I'm going to start this one down here and out of sight, out of mind for now. I'm going to keep it here up until he trips it into danger mode. Then this moon's going to go down and this moon's going to fly up and replace its position. So this is kind of just hovering down here for now. I'm fine with that because in our game, we ain't going to see anything. We're only going to see this guy. So now, thinking in terms of animation, that's why I'm walking you through these specific objects because it's all a little bit unique here. So now, let's move on to our diamonds. So let's go and find these guys here. Dagger full. I named that wrong, but hopefully you guys didn't. So I'm just going to pop this on prop so I can see it up in the foreground here. And let's pop this diamond in place. And let's go 5.25. Oh, that looks all right. -2. Oh, definitely not. No. -1.5. Let's go 1.6. All right. So now I'm going to drag in that other diamond object here. And that's going to be dagger key. Okay. I'm going to reset its positions. And I'm going to copy dagger. I'm going to rename this. That was my fault. Diamond. And just copy that over. And that was 5.25 and -1.6. So let's go diamond key. Okay, so 5.25, and I can't remember. What was it? -1.6. Okay, so I'm going to match these guys up so they're overlaying each other, and I'll set this to the same old props layer. You can see that's overlapping, and what we're going to do is sprite render. I'm just stacking these because when our dagger hits this object, we want the diamond to break open and reveal the key for the player to collect, right? So I'm going to set our sprite render off for now. And when that dagger that we eventually will be throwing with WrapTuck, it's going to hit this diamond, and then it's going to cause this diamond here, the diamond full, it's going to go off, and then this diamond is going to render on. So we're just going to be switching those up. But for now, I'm going to set these sprite renders as I want them to be at this point. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leave the blanket out of this as it's not relevant to what I want to teach you in this course. You can go ahead and do that yourself as a challenge because I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know to set that up. And by the end of this course, you're going to be able to do that yourself easily. So I don't need to waste any time showing you guys that because you all will be masters at that point. So what's next? Well, let's just do this for visual reference here. I want to put that rope cut up in here. So let's go props and let's drag this into view here. Game. I like the look of this here. It just kind of shows what's about to happen in this game. So there we are. And rock fall. I'm going to drag that into our scene as well. Position it properly. Position this. And let's go up and put that also in our props layer. And position that just in here. You can see I have an overlap in my sprite. I'm going to have to fix that, but that's really no problem. I'll show you how to take care of that. So this, I'm going to have to put on a layer above that rock so it's not coming in there. And now I want to get rid of this. It seems to be overlapping with another frame here. So let's go into our sprite sheet, sprite editor, and let's take a look and see. And what seems to be happening is probably here. This grid point is overlapping that. So let's go move that up, hit apply, and let me just close this now. And let's see what we got. And it looked like our rock may have been also doing that as well. So this is just a quick way to catch what's going on here. So let's go rock fall. And was that's another cause. That was an overlap in the grid. So I must have done a terrible job of setting that sprite sheet up. What else can I say? So let's quickly go ahead. We now know how to fix that. So let's go back into this sprite editor. Let's find that rock. And let's take care of this problem as well. A little bit of bleed over there. So move that. I don't want to move that one. I want to move the main grid up. Just out of view there. And let's apply. Let's close this again. Look at that, we fixed it. So that's just something for you to keep an eye out for, and just be careful when you're creating your sprites. So let's go into our game view and let's see what we got. I like that, that's cool with me. So now as we move forward with this course, we are now going to have all the props we need to continue. So let's move on to the next lesson now. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be actually learning how we can create animation files to apply to him based off of the sprite sheet that we have. This is where it gets really fun. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Let's get started right away.